Hey guys, how's it going? It's your boy MKS here, back at the fourth and final part of Dyslexic Mondays. I hope you enjoy it, especially I'd say dyslexics out there. Please share this video with any people with dyslexia. I hope these videos will inspire people. So please do share them with dyslexic people. I really appreciate it, and I hope other dyslexics will appreciate it too. And I'd love to collaborate with my fellow dyslexics. I'd love to interview my fellow dyslexics, or maybe be interviewed even by my fellow dyslexics as well. And with that being said, anyway, I'm going to crack on with the list. This is ideas number 31 to 40. So as I say, I hope you enjoy it, and any comments you want to comment, any thoughts you have, please let me know. If you want to make a reaction video, I welcome that as well. But I hope it won't be too cringeworthy, and here it goes. So number 31, I would love for dyslexic people to work together. Talking about alliterations, I would love for dyslexic people to work together in the movie industry. So basically to collaborate together in different industries, including the movie industry. Again, going on alliterations. Number 32, I get through these lists quite quickly sometimes because I go through each point a little bit quickly because I'm conscious of videos being too long for people's attention span. I have a terrible attention span myself, so not be too hypocritical, but 32 also for the music industry. Number 33, one of the strengths that dyslexics have, I think it's called mind strengths, MIND. I think they're obviously those are 4 because it's an acronym, but one of the many strengths dyslexics have, including a part of these mind strengths, is interconnected reasoning, so connecting seemingly random things, and I would love to see how dyslexics can collaborate together on different projects. So dyslexics who work in the movie industry working together, sharing ideas, and things like that, and also dyslexics who work in the music industry to collaborate together. And then both groups of people could collaborate together, if you know what I mean. So dyslexics in different industries. So how, like for instance, dyslexic businesses, venture capitalists, VCs for short, and whatnot, could invest in such movies and music, and dyslexic musicians' music could be used in dyslexic movies. Sometimes it could be that all of the cast and even the producer or producers and director or directors are all dyslexic. Sometimes it could be collaborating with, to use a politically incorrect term, normal or neurotypical, could be a better term, which is a PC term, PC-friendly term. So also I'd love for us to connect together in those industries. So number 31, I'd say to connect together in movies. So dyslexics who are involved in movies and dyslexics who want to get involved in in movies, getting together. Number 32 in music, and number 33 combining those industries and maybe even others like business, things like that. Number 34, I'd love to make many networks like the Dyslexic Millionaires Network and even the Dyslexic Billionaires Network. Maybe one day there could be even a Dyslexic Trillionaires Network, but who knows. But I hope that such networks would invest in many projects that can make the world a better place and do the things I talked before about, like going to Italy, sharing ideas about football. That's a more selfish one. Also Celtic, but also helping developing nations and former colonies. And hopefully we can do more by working together, collaborating, compensating each other's weaknesses. So for instance, each of us might have different weaknesses and strengths where we can counterbalance those challenges we face and share our experiences and information and knowledge. As I mentioned before, I'd love for dyslexics and dyslexic organizations to talk about the information they know, so that they can information share, shall we say. Number 35, as I say, dyslexics often think of like, I don't know about infinite, but certainly many possibilities. Many say Einstein was dyslexic, and one of the things he said was imagination is more important than knowledge, and I suppose he had much of both of those things. And he said knowledge has limits, but imagination can circle the world, or something like that. And well, that's a quote attributed to Albert Einstein, but not everything online is accurate, so it could have been someone else who said that, but that's what many people say Albert Einstein said. And again, many people say he's dyslexic. I don't know what evidence there is. There's a lot of people I've heard who are speculated to be dyslexic, like Larry Ellison or even Bill Gates, Alan Sugar, the late Steve Jobs, and many others. Sergey Brin, one of the co-founders of Google, and again, quite a few other people. But I normally try and look at dyslexics in their own words, because those who say they're dyslexic and want to inspire others. Because sometimes it's hearsay and myth or misunderstandings or whatever, and those people are not actually dyslexic necessarily. But anyway, moving on, number 36. I'll say before the end of October, I hope that we will travel to Italy or sometimes have Zoom meetings, I'll say, with Italians to talk about how we can benefit Italian football. Number 37, also for Celtic. Number 38, also, I'd also love for us to have Zoom groups, as I said before, as well. And I'd love to interview dyslexics, sometimes one-to-one, sometimes as groups. Sometimes we can have Zoom chats together, so we can talk about our experiences and all sorts of things to do with dyslexia and creativity and positive sides of dyslexia and things like that. So I'd love to get involved in that sort of thing. I know some people have already been involved in Zoom groups. I would love to have such internationally with people from across Africa, Asia, and elsewhere. Number 39, talking about how dyslexics see, like, again, I don't know if it's infinite possibilities, but certainly a lot of possibilities, and with our imagination and how things can go. I wonder if I've heard of a few directors who are dyslexic, like Steven Spielberg, and people like him, and Steve McQueen, who's also a black British person with dyslexia, even Black History Month as well. But I'm sure there are many other producers and directors with dyslexia who, so when you see a film and sometimes they have alternate endings, I wonder if that's a dyslexic sort of trait, because we see how different, how things could go, and things like that. Number 40, talking about Steven Spielberg. Apparently, all three of the people who founded DreamWorks, I think there were three of them altogether, and all three of them had dyslexia or have dyslexia. And hopefully they'll be with us for a while longer at least, although they are quite old, some of them. But anyway, Steven Spielberg is one of them. David Geffen is another, and I can't remember the third one. But I'd love to have a creation maybe of Dyslexic DreamWorks, which could be like a new project which connects together dyslexic people involved in the movie industry, as and maybe even across different industries like business, and seeing how those industries can cross. I mean, the movie industry itself is an industry. In other words, it's a business. Obviously, it deals with money and things like that, just like any other business. It sells movies and whatnot, and I suppose hence industry, obviously, and the same for the music industry. And yeah, like theme tunes and things like that, it'd be pretty cool to bring them together. And I was thinking that Weta, WETA, I don't know what that stands for, but it's a New Zealand company, which I think was founded by Richard Taylor, if I got his name right, who is also dyslexic. And I thought it'd be pretty cool if DreamWorks, if there was like a dyslexic DreamWorks and Weta, WETA, DreamWorks and Weta working together. I think Weta does like special effects, if I pronounce it right, WETA, and they worked on Lord of the Rings and things like that. And I think it'd be cool if dyslexic creatives came together and made movies, music, and things like that in spite of our struggles, and again invested together. And I'd love to, as they create dyslexic millionaires and billionaires and things like that. Even though I'm not that materialistic myself, it would just be interesting to see what could be done. I'd also find that maybe I could prove anyone who doubted me or any of my critiques or people who criticise me, in other words, wrong. And it could open up a lot of opportunities to do the things I want to do, because I'd love to raise funds for things like I say, I'm not materialistic, but I'd rather raise funds for things like Italian football and Celtic and things like that. But anyway, I think that covers everything. And again, I think it'd be cool if, I suppose DreamWorks, I don't know if DreamWorks still exists, or if it does, it's in the hands of someone else. So I don't know if they changed the name of it, but I think it'd be cool if there was a new DreamWorks, and even a new dyslexic DreamWorks and dyslexic Weta or dyslexic WETA. So that would be like dealing with movies and special effects in movies, music, and all sorts of things, putting dyslexic creativity and imagination and ideas onto screens. And maybe people like Steven Spielberg and Steve McQueen. I know Steve McQueen's mentored a couple of people already with dyslexia, but maybe they can mentor even more all around the world, including in developing nations, and maybe even build a bridge between directors and producers from all different nations all around the world. So Nollywood, Bollywood, Hollywood, and whatever other woods or whatever other movie industries could all work together in different nations, as well as music. Anyway, I am out. Peace and love.